Well, I guess it's my turn. Welcome to Crocs in the Kitchen. I am Brian. Yes, Jessica did her video by herself, so I decided to do my video by myself as well. And I just wanted to come on here to talk about what I am doing to lose weight. Now, let's go back in time to before we ever started this channel and did our whole 2 weeks of potatoes. I was really, really fat. I mean, I was really, really fat. I was over 500 pounds before we first started to lose weight. And over the course of us doing the channel and eating a whole food plant-based diet, I got down really close to that 200 range, not 200 pounds, but into the 200s. And then as time went on, slowly crept up. And as Jessica went through her diagnosis and treatment, I just let it keep on creeping up and creeping up and creeping up until I was then diagnosed with kidney cancer myself. And a lot of you will remember that I promised my doctor before they ever took the kidney out that I was going to lose the weight. I promised him I was going to lose the weight. And after the surgery was done and I was recovered, I actually did lose about 40 pounds. I know a lot of people couldn't really notice. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes with me because I carry weight pretty well. But I mean, I could go 20 pounds in either direction and most people don't even notice that, especially if like all you see is my face. But I lost 40 pounds after the surgery, and then they put me on a steroid for the stomach issues that I was having. And it just made me super hungry. Like, I mean, it was horrible. It was actually really, really bad. And it triggered insomnia and like a couple of other just weird issues. And I don't know. I'd never really been on a steroid before. And so I didn't know how it would react with me. But it was not cool because I was just starving and sleepy all the time. It was really brutal, actually. But the funny thing was that it's like, even though I say I was starving, I wasn't. I was eating a bunch of food still. But my body, for some reason, was just like, oh no, you're still hungry. You're still hungry. You're still hungry. You're still hungry. I'm like, okay. So then I would eat more until eventually that part would just shut up. So I gained about 20 to 25 pounds back from that 40 that I had lost. And I then have now since gotten off of that steroid because, you start with a bigger dose and then you get lower and lower as you go. So I'm finally off the steroid and I've started losing weight again. I'm actually down about 10 pounds from when we said that we were, going to get back to losing weight and like all that kind of stuff. I don't know, maybe it was like 2-3 weeks ago, somewhere around there. And I know I talked a little bit about it in the live stream. I was already down like 5 pounds, like when we talked about it on the live stream. So here I am back on my path, doing my thing, losing weight. Now, a bunch of people have suggested different ways that I should lose weight. And I wanted to go over a couple of those first before I actually tell you what I am doing. And these are things that I'm not going to do. These are just things that people have suggested. So a lot of people have suggested things like keto, carnivore, just low carb in general. And like those, if you're doing that and you've lost weight and you feel good doing it, great. That's awesome for you. It's not something I'm going to do though. That's just, I have no desire to do that. Like, I just don't. Another thing people have suggested that I might possibly do is take something like Ozempic or some other type of drug that they've been talking about on their Mounjaro or something. I don't know. I have no desire to do that either. I'm kind of weird when it comes to stuff like that. If you're taking it and you're losing weight, awesome. I couldn't be happier for you. You do whatever you need to do to get yourself to whatever happy weight you want to be at. It's awesome. Great. Love it. Personally, though, I'm not the type of person to do that. I can't really explain it. It's a part of me that's like, I don't like necessarily getting assistance for things a lot of times. I know there's no logic really behind it. It's just the way that I'm sort of programmed. It's like when I play video games, I don't like cheating. And I'm not saying that taking those drugs is cheating or anything like that. I'm just not the type to sort of take shortcuts or find the most efficient way to do that. Sometimes I like doing things just the old-fashioned brute force way and get the job done, especially since I've already done it once before. Well, a couple of times before. Another thing people have randomly suggested is something like gastric bypass surgery or gastric sleeve or something like that. Nope, not doing that one. No, I'm just not. I'm not going under the knife for an additional surgery to remove parts of my body that are perfectly fine. Now, if I had a diseased stomach or something, maybe I might do that. But no, I'm not going to judge people for getting surgeries, once again, to help them lose weight. If that's what you felt was necessary to do, awesome. I love it. But for me, I'm not going to do that. It's just, I can't explain it. I've got to do it my way, or I didn't do it. I didn't accomplish it myself. And once again, it's my own weird mental issues, right? So those were the big three, that most people suggested. I'm trying to think if there were any others. People suggested other random diets and stuff like that. I'm not going to do raw vegan either. I have no desire to do raw vegan whatsoever. I like cooking. I love cooking. Cooking is fantastic. And, it's just how I am. So what am I actually doing to lose weight? Pretty straightforward. I am eating a whole food plant-based diet and making sure that I am not overeating in that category. Like for breakfast, I will have a potato and maybe some tofu. And then I'll not eat anything for several hours. And then I'll have dinner. And dinner will be something like, I don't know, rice and beans or with some roasted veggies or something like that. It's just, I'm trying to have 2 meals in the day and no snacking of any sort. And that's that. Like, I'm trying to just keep the calories to a minimum. It's almost like I'm eating a lot of potatoes right now. That's for one thing. Potatoes are awesome. I don't know why. Like, I know potatoes sucked after I did 2 weeks of plain potatoes, but when you don't eat plain potatoes and you can actually prepare them in different ways, it's fantastic. Potatoes are great. They go along with practically every dish you could possibly want. So yeah, eating a lot of potatoes, keeping any kind of condiments to a low calorie, plant-based condiment. I'm not like just pouring ranch on everything because that would just be brutal. I'm not eating a massive amount of nuts or anything. Like, I'm not doing a lot of cashew-based sauces or anything like that. I will have seeds, as part of something. But yeah, basically, I'm eating whole food plant-based meals that I'm making myself and eating twice a day. That's really about it. Oh, and the other thing that I am also then doing to lose weight, it's the old strategy: eat less, wiggle more. Thanks, Ray, for that one. So I plan on doing a lot more physical activity. I'm not talking going to gyms or anything like that or going for runs or whatever, but this house that we are slowly renovating is in a beautiful neighborhood. And, I want to take Elsie on walks in this neighborhood. I want to go out and do more yard work. I've got a lot of stuff that I can do out in the yard once we get sort of to a point where we're actually living in the house and all that. I still have the bikes, the bikes that Jessica and I bought just before everything got flipped upside down. And you know what? I still look at that bike and I'm like, like once this weather gets warmed up just a little bit more, like in a couple weeks, I'm going to get that sucker down. I'm going to air up those tires and make sure everything's good and oiled, and then go for bike rides in my neighborhood. Other than that, it's just chasing after Elsie and doing home renovations and all that. It's just more physical activity. It's that simple. Eat less, move more. And so far it's working for me. Like I said, I'm down 10 pounds just in the last couple weeks. Super happy about that. And I'm just going to keep it going. So I think that might be it for this one. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and click the bell right next to it, and you will be notified whenever we post a new video. You can also follow us on social media, Facebook and Instagram. And like I have always said, anybody out there, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or you just want to ask me about a particular topic or something like that, please message me on Facebook. I am open to communicate about anything. It really doesn't bother me whatsoever. But I think that's all I got for this one. I will see you next time on Crocs in the Kitchen. Bye.